All right, all eyes have been on education here in Arizona, and teacher pay has been a big concern as a lot of teachers are leaving the profession. To address the issue, Republican representative in the state legislature, Matt Gress, thanks for doing this again.
Good to be on here.
Let's talk about the Republican plan, Prop 123. Can you explain what that is and what your plan would do moving forward?
At this time of statehood, the federal government allocated over 9 million acres to the state of Arizona to put in trust for the benefit of 13 beneficiaries. The chief among them is K-12 schools. And so we sell land, we lease it, and the proceeds go into a trust. And then we spend the interest off of that trust for these beneficiaries. In 2016, Governor Ducey brought forward a plan called Prop 123, which increased how much we paid out of the trust from 2.5% all the way to 6.9%. That generated over $300 million annually in new dollars for schools without raising taxes. Now, the value of the trust at that time was $5 billion. It's now worth nearly $9 billion today. So it didn't deplete the trust at all. The trust continued growing with these monies being sent to K-12 schools. That expires on June 30th of this year. Now, the legislature already has budget plans to backfill the loss of 123 if we did not renew it on July 1. What Republicans in the legislature are looking at is renewing Prop 123 and using those new dollars directly for teacher pay.
And in the past, we know during the Ducey administration, working with the legislature, they were able to accommodate a 20% pay raise for teachers over a 3-year period, I believe it was. But some of the teachers didn't get that raise because it went into the districts and it was used for administrative costs. This would mandate that the money goes directly to the teachers.
Exactly. And I was budget director at the time this all happened. We all remember Red for Ed, raising teacher pay was a top concern. And so the legislature acted. And then we find out that not all of the money went to the teachers. That's not what Arizonans want right now. And that is not good enough to address the biggest workforce challenge in K-12 education. And that is the lack of qualified classroom teachers at the front of every classroom. This bill mandates teacher pay raises. So the bureaucracy, the administration will have no other choice but to pay these teachers directly from the new proceeds from the land trust.
So what are we talking about as far as an increase goes? Where will it put teachers in Arizona in comparison with the national average for salaries?
Right now, the average teacher salary in Arizona is about $60,000. And that puts us at 32nd in terms of teacher pay. With our proposal, it would be a $4,200 increase in salary, bringing the average salary to $65,600 roughly, and that would put us at 20th. So we would be above the national average should this package go into place.
And long term, do you believe that's, there are a couple of different issues we're hearing from the superintendent about teacher retention, but the big issue why teachers are leaving or not entering is pay. Is this the number you're hearing from educators that would bring people in and keep people in the profession?
What I've heard is that this is a bold proposal. $4,200 is significant. It would make a huge difference. Now, there's still more work to do. We want to be at the top of the pack. We want to be the place where you can recruit and retain excellent teaching staff. Part of that is compensation, for sure. But there's also other elements about your workplace. They call it workplace hygiene. Do you feel respected? Do you feel supported in the classroom? Discipline has a lot to do with that. And we have legislation this session to help ensure that the teacher and the administrator are on the same page when it comes to disciplining children. So there needs to be order in a school in order for the teacher to do his or her job and to allow the kids to be able to learn. But pay will go a long way.
Representative Gress, I appreciate the time as always and the explanation, and I'm hoping this passes and we can get these teachers paid, and I appreciate your work.
Thank you for having me on.
All right, we'll be right back.